Welcome back to the Parker Pod. Today's episode is a special one. I've got a longtime friend joining me, someone I've had the privilege of suiting up with back in our college football days. Since then, he's made some serious moves. He's now the national sales manager at Astroflave. He's a sup tender at Jersey Shore Supplements. He also was a local champion in the USA powerlifting competition, taking first place in 2023. And also, he helped his team snag second place in the 2024 New Jersey State competition. But beyond the titles and trophies, what stands out most about him is his relentless positivity and passion for living life to the fullest. Whether it's in the gym, in business, or just everyday energy, he always brings 100%. Let's get into it and catch up with a guy who's always moving forward, Gabe Fattizzi. Gabe, thank you for coming on the podcast today, man. How's your day going?
Pretty good, man. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. So let's kind of dive into how we met. Do you remember like the first time that we ever met on the field back in college in football?
Yeah, of course. It was the first night, actually.
Do you remember?
Ever. Yep.
Do you remember? What stands out to you the most about our time playing together and that night specifically as well?
I think it just kind of made sense. The way we met was kind of very nonchalant, and it was kind of like, oh man, like right away there was a honest connection there that we both knew of, and it was kind of like that. On the field was awesome, but it really translated into like just school and what we did around campus following, which was a lot of fun. It was my first time at school. Met an upperclassman, and it's time to get busy and start having some fun. So it was a good time.
Absolutely. Was there like a specific moment for you with football in college that shaped how you now view life?
I would say honestly, no matter how tough things get in life, or with coaching, or with the business that was college football, what I gained from that was the friends that I made along the way. That's what kept me going that entire time. It was relationships over hardships. And those relationships got me through those tough times. And that's what I learned to value from just the overall college experience and college football. You work as hard as you possibly can, not only for yourself, but for everyone else around you, especially your teammates and your close friends, which is awesome.
Absolutely. What aspect of do you think lifting got you into football or football got you into lifting?
Honestly, I think football got me into lifting originally.
Okay.
But after a while, I think I started to like lifting a bit more than football. Somewhere in there in college a little bit, I started to think like, lifting's pretty damn cool. I kind of knew what I wanted to do after I finished being a competitor at the college level, which was cool.
Yeah, I mean, because like when you're on the field and you make a good play, they were excited. But if you like hit a PR lift in the gym, for some reason, everyone went absolutely insane.
It was bananas, like the craziest thing you've ever seen,
Yeah.
Just that supportive energy and just, even people in there hitting numbers that they probably wouldn't have hit, not in that environment, is the other thing.
Definitely, dude. You're going for a PR and you got 30, 40 guys just standing there screaming at you as you're going down for a squat or as you're trying to pick a bench press up. It was insane. I mean, I think back then, from even me personally, like I hit numbers that I don't even think I would have hit. Like now I do 405 for a few reps on squat. Now, granted, I was bigger back then, but I think on my first day I did 405 for like 17 reps. And in the gym now, I would have stopped at 8, even at that size that I was at, and just like one more. And then you get up and they're like, and again, and you're like, okay, all right, I'll do it again, I guess.
And I really think that that's like, when I think back to those times, it's like when you looked at the weight and then you felt it on your back or above you, you really didn't feel it because of the energy and the vibes in the room. Like you knew all those people behind you were not only cheering you on, but they believed in you. And I think that's what makes the difference there. Like you heard the energy and you felt that they believed in you. And it's like, well, if I don't do this, I'm not a failure, but I need to do this for them. I need to keep this energy going. I need to show people that they could do things that they don't think they can do.
You're a big advocate for like positive energy. I mean, clearly I've known you, since college, man, and you have always been, no matter how bad it's gotten, you've always found a way to flip a switch and to make it into something positive.
Yes.
Where do you think that stems from?
Honestly, I believe that it truthfully stems from the way my parents raised me. They raised me to be respectful. They raised me to be a gentleman. and they raised me to treat others how I would want to be treated. And a lot of it also comes from my older siblings. There's a 9-year gap between us. I came a little late. I was a happy accident if you were to ask Bob Ross, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I came late and I just had such good role models. And I'm so just grateful for having such a beautiful family who not only pushed me to be a good person, but never stopped supporting me. So the way I look at life now is like I was raised that way and I truly looked at life that way. And I know in 2025, things are a bit tough out there. There's not much positive energy. But if I can go out there every day and just be that kid I've always been, the kid who's never changed, the kid who can maybe take someone who's frowning and make them smile or laugh that day, then that's my positive impact in the world. You know what I mean? And it's like
Yeah.
that's how I view it now. Like a lot of people are going through things right now, and you don't know what a simple smile or a little joke could do for someone during their day. It can completely flip their day around, you know?
Yeah, and it's all about like making your corner of the world a positive place, because if you are constantly worried about what's going on in the other side of the world, Los Angeles, they are important things, right? Like I'm not saying that they're not important things that should be taken care of, but if you take those things and you bring a negative mindset into your corner, into your part of the world, it's not going to make that or your part of the world better. So you might as well just be taking care of what you can take care of and the positive impact that you can make.
Yeah. And that's another good statement from like pulling back to Kings football, like control the controllables. You know, like that's part of perspective too. It's like if you control what's in front of you, control the things you can, and just let the things you can't work themselves out. You know, we wish we could do things for everybody, but you can't help everybody. You know, so exactly what you said, like if you keep that corner, your corner safe and secure and just peaceful and as positive as you possibly can, you're going to affect the people in your close circle around you. And I always want to lift people up no matter what. And no matter how bad the situation gets, I'm a glass half full kind of guy. You know, I'll find a way around it, even though it gets tough sometimes. But you know, you either, and this is a big one for my older brother. You know, you kind of bad shit happens to everybody. You kind of sit there and you kind of get in the pit and you can't move, or you climb out of the pit and you move forward. You know,
What do you think is very important for people, like when they're in that pit, when they're in that moment? What do you think is a good way for them to at least start climbing out of it?
I think that you just need to center yourself, really look at the situation as a whole. And like we were just talking about, pick out the things that you can control there. And one of those things, a constant, is always going to be your mind. You know, that was a big thing for me post college was, you know, life gets weird. It's like you leave college and you're on free play mode now. It's all up to you. So that could be scary. Like it could be tremendously scary. And for most people, it is. Or you could tweak that perspective and look at it like, wow, this world's mine. It's not this big, like, empty place where everything just gets sucked and swallowed up. It's the place where you can go to build and create and be your own person. And I think once you get over that, if you're in that pit and you find that image of what you want to be, just go chase your passion. Even if it doesn't reap a ton of benefits in terms of money at this point in life, just go chase your passion. Because if you're doing what you love, you're going to get to the money, you're going to get to the success. So that's what I did in my little pit after college. I kind of said, like, dude, what are you passionate about? Like, what does Gabe Fattizzi want to do now? What do you need to do to move forward? What do you need to do to clean up your act a bit? And just look around, like play the game. Don't be scared of it. Get out there and go play, you know?
Yeah, and you did just that. I mean, you love powerlifting and you love athletics, and what did you do? You got into powerlifting, and now you're the national sales manager at Astroflave, dude. Like you
Yes.
got into supplements itself. Tell me a little bit about that.
So it's funny. I started taking Astroflave back in 19, and I've been shopping at Jersey Shore Supplements since 2014. When I came back after school, basically, I just had the idea that I wanted to help people my whole life, given my criminal justice and sociology degree. And when I realized, had that big realization about life, I was like, wait a minute, I can attempt to help people in any way, shape, or form. So when I started at JSS in the retail front, we're non-commission based employees. So when I go to work, I don't have any pressure. I don't have to pressure customers into buying anything. We simply educate. We tell them we align perfect supplements to their goals, and it's awesome. The most rewarding part of that job is just watching people come back 10 pounds down, 20 pounds down, 30 pounds down, because they're literally, their lives are changing right in front of you. And you just feel so proud for them. You know, you're happy for them. Because it's like, I've been on my fitness journey for a long time now. I'm happy with how I look. I've gotten very strong, but now it's time to give back and do that for other people. So I did well there very quickly, and the owner gave me a tremendous, basically just one of the biggest opportunities I ever received to become the national sales manager for a company that I've been consuming the supplements from for 6 years that I believe in. All natural, holistic supplements that align with my drug tested powerlifting federation. And I handle about 70 accounts nationwide where I communicate, educate, and sell a quality product that's actually helping people. It's really cool when you're able to go to work every day and sell something that you believe in and is actively helping people in the world. That's awesome.
Yeah, because then like people feel that, right? People feel whenever you're behind something that you truly, truly believe in versus when you're behind something that you kind of have a hesitation about. And that
Yes.
hesitation can come from a lack of understanding about the product, which, you can just overcome by running through drills in your head about what the product is and reading
Yes.
information on it over and over and over again. But it also, even if you do that and you don't have that spark of that belief within the product, people are 100% going to be able to notice that within you.
Yes.
Like, even just talking to you right now, I may look at Astroflave supplements later just by how you're talking about it. And you haven't even told me about a product yet, but the way that you're passionate about it is very, very important.
Yes.
But what's one misconception, being that you have been in the supplement industry, that you feel like people aren't aware of, or people think that they know, but there's a little bit of a misconception?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I would say, honestly, just the way in retail supplements, the way it's gone is big companies like GNC and Vitamin Shop are commission based employees. So, my whole theory about the fitness, health, and wellness industry all around between everything is we should all be here to uplift and support each other. So if you're going somewhere and you have specific goals in mind, you need specific supplements to match that goal and get you there. So if there's someone behind a counter who's only trying to sell you a boatload of things because they get a bigger check at the end of the week, we're turning an industry that's supposed to be supportive and people changing their lives into an industry that's focused on money. And that's the thing. I think the big misconception is there's a lot of viral supplements. There's a lot of things people think they need. But when it comes to supplements, it's very person to person. It's very trial and error. It's like something that works for me and 100 others might not work for you. So it's really about working through the supplements, finding out what reacts with people's bodies properly and aligns them with reaching their goals. I don't just want to throw the kitchen sink at somebody. I want to densely question them on their goals for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, find out exactly what they want to do, and then offer them suggestions on things and explain why this would help them reach their goals. But I think the big misconception is you can't just take supplements, buy. You got to find the right ones for you and the ones that align with where you're trying to go. And that's when the real magic happens.
Yeah. And I think commission based sales, especially in the supplement industry, it's two prong, right? You want employees that are going to study the material, because if you're run solely on commission, you have to know what you're talking about, because that's how you're going to sell whatever you're selling, right? So you want employees that do know what they're talking about, and you want employees that are encouraged to sell products. But it also has this undertone of you don't believe in your product enough to just pay them a livable wage. Because if you're paying them based on commission, you're paying on their ability to market your product. And that means that your product doesn't market itself. You're
Yes.
selling something that doesn't market itself, that doesn't, I don't want to say doesn't work, but your company clearly believes in what they're selling. So they go, yo, we know what we're selling and we know that it's going to sell. So we're going to pay Gabe X amount of dollars because Gabe's going to do what Gabe's going to do, because he is a motivated individual, and we hire people who are motivated and we pay them well, and our products sell themselves anyway.
Yes.
So I think that, there's definitely two perspectives to look at it, because you don't want to be paying someone when your products aren't selling. But if you truly believe in your products, I don't think there's any reason to not sell them, like not pay people what they're worth and what they can bring to your company.
Yeah. And it's really cool the things that when you do the process the way we do things and when you do densely question people, it's awesome to see the people seek out, say, my Instagram handle or come back to the store, even maybe take a 25-minute drive to come and tell me a few weeks later how much they're already noticing the benefits. And it's like, that's the rewarding part. It's like, wow, like not only did I work through what they were trying to do, did I pinpoint it? And now did I set them in a positive, right direction? Because again, the things that I recommend are mostly all natural and holistic. And will honestly, when you take these things, you diet properly, you lift and you're disciplined in your lifting, and you sleep and recover properly, the supplements that you're getting are basically your biggest cheat codes. You know, they're amplifying the process for you. They're expediting the process of getting to your goals, and just seeing them come back in like lit up, or just give me a phone call or like a really nice message. It's like that's enough to carry me through some of my worst days. You know, it's like that's the positive impact I'm making. And even before college, like I said, I've always wanted to help people. And I always had, I thought I knew what that meant, but now I'm doing it in a whole new way. So I think that's the most rewarding part.
So you said you thought you always knew what that meant. So what was your mindset back then, and how is your mindset flipped to where it's at now?
So honestly, like before I left Point Pleasant to go to Kings, it was honestly Point Pleasant and Wilkes-Barre are polar opposites. So leaving
Yes,
Point Pleasant when I was a 17-year-old kid, I wanted to be a police officer my whole life. Now, nothing wrong with being a police officer. I have the utmost respect, and it's honestly one of the coolest jobs in the whole world. I just realized after going through school that personality wise, it wasn't the best fit for me. So that was the thing. And then for a while there, I was confused. I was like, well, I always wanted to do that. And now I don't want to do it. So what's next? And it's funny, you know, you start a retail front job and all of a sudden people are like, dude, you're changing my life. Dude, I lost 40 pounds. Dude, I can take my shirt off this summer at the Jersey Shore and be confident. Like I watch these people walk in and they just seem like if you're struggling with something physically, most of the time you're struggling with something mentally. You know what I mean? So it's
absolutely.
not only seeing them change physically, but seeing their glow and positivity and like smile come back. It's like, wow, this is like bigger than me for sure, bigger than me. But it's really cool that it happens often now at this point because, you know, after being a year somewhere, you get knowledgeable and then you're like, all right, yeah, I know what this person needs. And then you hype them up, you motivate them, and they come back and they're happy and they're changing. And that's the most rewarding part. It really, really is.
Yeah, and I think physically is the easiest way because your physical, your mental, and your emotional are all tied. Trust me, I used to be super fat,
Yeah.
and
Hey, me too,
it
bud.
and it's all tied. And people go, well, I'm gonna try to tackle the emotional part of me, or I'm gonna try to tackle the mental part of me. And while it seems easier because you don't have to go work out or go run or go to the gym, it seems easier to do that. I think that it's actually easier to go outside and run. Just blank your mind, put on a podcast or put on like really loud music, whatever gets you going, and attack the physical part of things. It's the same thing with cleaning your room, right? You're like, "Oh, why is my headspace like this?" And it's like, "Cuz you got water bottles everywhere,
Yes.
dude. That's why. Go throw the water bottles away." I know it seems so minute, but if you can get your space right, if you can get your body right, your mind and your emotion will follow.
Yes.
You know how they say like look good, feel good, play good?
Go
It's
for
not
it.
just for sports. That's for life.
Every day. Every single day.
I hadn't gotten a haircut because my new job is work from home. So I hadn't gotten a haircut in like 3.5 weeks. And I usually go every 2 weeks. And I walked out of the barber shop yesterday and I was like, why do I feel like a whole different person? Like I feel completely different. Like I'm ready to go to the gym. I'm ready to like let me DM some people for the podcast. Let me do this work that I've been kind of pushing off for a day or two. Like let me get back to it. So I think it's very important for people to like really like hone in on what, like you said earlier, what you can control.
Yes.
And if all you can control is throwing away a few water bottles, throw away a few water
And
bottles.
get it
Don't
done.
don't think the problem is bigger than what it really is. The problem's right in front of you. Fix it.
Yeah.
Going into your powerlifting, like I know you've always been big in the gym, but like what made you go, I want to compete? And what was the driving force for you wanting to compete at the level you did?
So what happened when I got home was there was this like 2 month buffer period that I had to go to the gym because I love it. And it was like, do I want to train to continue to be strong like I was in college? Or do I want to drop a ton of weight and get absolutely shredded, you know, like go down like back to where I was like maybe senior year of high school or maybe freshman year of college, even when I was like, you know, 195, 190, like just get shredded, you know, be kind of bodybuilder-ish. I ended up going to a gym called Pure Focus. I've been going there on and off my entire life. And the owner is the president of an all natural bodybuilding association that rolls nationwide. So he's a tremendous role model, tremendous guy. He's the owner and operator. It's a small family owned gym, old school iron, grit, rust, dust. It's phenomenal. His son Joey is probably in person the best powerlifter I've ever met in my life. He's a multiple time national qualifier. This guy's 160 and deadlifts 700 pounds. I went there one day, wanted to switch back to pure full time. And he looked at me, he goes, "Hey, we need a guy at 100 kilos. And you graduated, right? Like you're done with school." And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "What do you weigh right now?" I was like 224. And he's like, "All right, well, let's get cooking." He's like, "Weight class is 220. He's like, "If you
Yeah.
want me as your coach, like, let's get going. I want you on the team." I was like, "That sounds great to me." So he kind of pushed me into the kilo weights. He switched up all my form, helped me with all my technique. And honestly, at the beginning, I was the weakest I ever felt because a lot of
Yeah.
it was just brute football strength, no form, use your heart, like
Use your heart. It's
wasn't
crazy.
there. How technical the sport is, it wasn't, I couldn't just bounce benches off my chest anymore. I
Yeah.
couldn't just squat 90 degrees. I had to go lower. So it was
Yeah.
just things like that. But yeah, honestly, my coach was the one who pushed me headfirst into the scene and was like, "Dude, we're getting you on stage." And the biggest statement was, I kept telling him, like, "When I'm ready, when I'm ready." And he looked at me one day, he goes, "Gabe, you're never going to be ready, brother." He's like,
Yeah.
"If you never get your feet wet," he's like, "you can get infinitely stronger." I kept telling him, when I get stronger, when I get stronger. He's like, "You're going to get stronger, dude, but you got to get on stage and make sure you can do that first." It's
Yeah.
a whole nother thing. So he pushed me in November of 2023. And I went there and I actually took first place. So it really was my coach who pushed me in the direction and got me competing again, which I love now.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's like it is a whole different thing being in front of people, right? Like I'll go to do like a PR bench and it's weird. When I have a spot, for some reason I can't get it up. But the moment I don't have a spot, it's almost like no one's gonna help you.
Yeah.
So you gotta
Fight,
get it
fight or
off your
flight.
chest.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotta get it off your chest. And part of it's like I don't think about how I'm lifting it. I just lift it up. And I mean, for you, was there like kind of like a stage fright, or was it more of just like what did he mean by being on stage is different?
So I think what he meant by that, and I understand that now. I didn't get it then, but when you're on stage in the gym, it's a lot different because you can kind of just go all day. Most days are 6, 7 sets on a squat, bench, or deadlift. So you're doing that movement a lot. There aren't any cues from judges, and there aren't people making sure you're doing everything proper. So if you don't
Yeah.
train the right way and you don't make sure you're doing it like you would on stage, when you get on stage, there's certain commands and cues from judges that you need to follow, and you get 3 attempts for each lift. So say you miss the first and second attempts on, say, the first lift, which is squat, like your day's basically over. So
Mm,
it really is on stage. Like it goes from being like, "Oh, I could do this all day," to like, "Holy shit, over the course of the next 4 or 5 hours, I need to hit these 9 lifts. And if I don't, it'll affect my score, it'll affect my placement, and it'll affect the entire day."
okay.
So I think
So
that's
it
what he meant, was the organization and just actually hitting the cues on stage versus just lifting in a gym.
So like for cues, right? You say hitting all 9 lifts. Does that mean like if you go to squat and you don't get to the proper depth, but you come up anyway, they're like, that doesn't even count toward your score now.
Exactly.
Like
Yes.
that.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it does not count. And there's a couple different things that play into that too.
Okay. What was one of the most difficult things like being on stage that you had to kind of overcome?
I would honestly say in more of a self-confidence thing, to be honest, when I first started.
Okay.
Was like, you're out here now on stage, individualized once again, like you were in high school wrestling. You know you're strong, you know your capability, so truly believe in that. And there's been a lot of times in my life where I've had some self-doubt and some confidence problems for sure. And I think honestly, after that first meet was kind of like a new kid walked out after that. I still had a ton of work to do, but in terms of confidence and overall feeling and just self-esteem, that was the biggest hurdle for me in my first meet. So not only going 8 for 9 there, but winning was absolutely pivotal for me in my life moving forward. Because I was like, damn, I could do this now. Like it was a small local meet, but who's to say I can't be a national qualifier powerlifter? Who's to say I can't be a pro? You know what I mean? So that's the really cool part about it. was kind of overcoming myself in a way.
Yeah, you were facing what you not had been putting off. I don't want to say that, but when you were like, when I'm ready, that's kind of like, I guess, the confident way of like putting something off by saying, like,
Yes.
instead of saying, like, I'm not going to do that, that's directly putting it off, right? But
Yes.
saying, like, I'm not ready or whenever I am ready, that's more of the confident way, per se, of putting something off. So
Exactly.
the coach grabbed you and said, it was it was probably God going like, "Hey, we're done putting this off. Like
Exactly.
you have to do it because unless you start, there's going to be nowhere for you. You're not going to go anywhere unless you start." I feel like for me personally, like there's nothing in the gym that I'm really striving toward right now, other than I'm trying to get to 10% body fat. Right now, I'm at 14%. I'm trying to
Yeah, I
get to
saw your
10%.
InBody. We do that at JSS. I was like, dude, he's cooking right now. That's a
Yeah,
tremendous
dude.
plan.
Yeah, but I don't. Here's my problem. I don't feel it. Because I have like no body fat in my legs. I got no body fat in my arms. But because of my weight loss and because of the loose skin that I have on my stomach, it still holds more fat than the rest of my body. Like my arms got like, I think it was like very, very low body fat, like less than 1% or like 1% in my arms, but then my trunk got all of it. So like seeing that number, I'm like, yeah, it says 14%, but like in my mind, I'm like, yeah, but it's all in my stomach, all in my sides. Like I
And that's the
can't.
terrible thing about the male anatomy is that when it gets down to that point, we hold all of our stubborn fat in the gut area, the love handles, and lower back. So the
Yeah.
one thing I'll say is, you remember me, I was up at my highest was 276, and I was able to drop it back down to 203 over the course of 7 months. What I'll say is, you're right on that edge. You know what I mean? You're right there. And that's the next thing to go. So I know it's stubborn, I know it's annoying, but that's next up, brother. You're right there, dude. It's
Yeah.
all 14% is very impressive. And when you do get to sub 10, because I know you as well, and I know you're committed and dedicated. And when something gets going up here, go, go, go. You're right there, dude. You're right there. It's going to be a grind. But once you get that like 5% off, when you're down around like 9.5, you're going to be like, damn, I look good, man.
Yeah. Dude, I'm waiting for it, man. Well, like speaking of on supplements, I mean, for me and for anyone else listening, do you have a supplement that you specifically recommend for like fat burning other than caffeine? Because I know caffeine's a big one, right?
Caffeine does it for sure. And I love me
Yeah.
some caffeine too.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
the
Me too.
daily driver, the Ghost Energy drinks.
Yeah.
I'd say honestly, for fat loss, that really comes down to if you're looking for a thermogenic fat burner with caffeine,
Yeah.
or maybe like a sweat enhancer or a metabolism booster that doesn't have caffeine. Because
Okay.
there are certain fat burners you can mix with pre-workouts, and then there's tablet fat burners. But I mean, a lot of the times with fat burners, it's really trial and error there too. It's like,
Okay.
what's going to react well with your body. But I'd say for anyone trying to lose weight, a lot of that comes down to just cleaning up your diet. It
Yeah.
really is. 90% of the fight in this world is the diet. It really, really is. A
Yeah.
fat loss supplement can expedite the process. And L-carnitine's been huge lately. I know L-carnitine's a big one for a lot of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you about that because that and CLAs were the two that I heard can do the. So what's the main difference between the two that you know?
I mean, they work well together. Really good thing that comes to mind is actually one of the high quality whey protein isolates that we carry. It's called lean whey. So an isolate goes through a dense filtration process of removing unnecessary carb, sugars, and fats.
Okay.
So it's solely just a source of quick digesting protein for muscle building and recovery. That's primarily used for post workout. Just because, like, say you're eating chicken and rice, that's phenomenal. Like, great source of good carbs, great source of protein. It's just not digesting into your body quick enough for proper recovery. But the cool thing with lean whey is that it has the MCTs, the CLAs, and the L-carnitine in there too. So
Okay.
honestly, like, I had a little bit of love handle action this past winter, and
Yeah.
after about 2 to 3 tubs of that lean whey, man, like, they were gone. So I thought that that was really cool. Even in like a very, very low dose, it's a tremendous tasting protein with very unique flavors. And with the low dose of fat burning benefits, it's just absolutely phenomenal. And it really did work. I kind of guinea pigged myself, you know?
Okay. Yeah. See, Gabe, you already got me wanting to buy supplements again. And
Yeah.
I
JSS does have a new website too that we do ship nationwide for free as well. So if
Okay.
anyone wants to check out any products, or if you ever have any questions about anything on there, just let me know.
Okay. Yeah, I can drop the link below too, so people can actually, people that listen to this, if they want to get any products, they can go through that. Do you have a code or anything like that?
No codes yet,
Oh
but
yeah, because you're non-commissioned, right? I
yeah,
mean,
exactly.
unless you're like what's it called? And not like an influencer, but like a rep
Like a
or
brand ambassador.
brand
Yeah.
ambassador. That's what it's called. Yeah. Yeah. That's very interesting because I actually went away from supplements for a very long time. I was still lifting, still going to the gym, but I went away from supplements because I could only go after work. So like my main thing was pre-workout, right? Right now I'm taking a pre-caged. I don't know if you
Yeah, no, it's
have
a good
heard
one.
of it. Yeah, that's what I'm taking right now. But I would have to be up at 5 o'clock to get to work by 6:30. And then I would be at work until like 6:37. And I was about 40 minutes from the gym from where I worked.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't get to the gym till like 7:40. So like if I was taking pre-workout at 7:40 at night and I
You're
had to
up till
be
4
up
a.m.
at 5 a.m. Yeah,
Yeah.
like so I just stopped taking it altogether. And I don't want to say I felt better because I didn't feel better, but I definitely had like a more calm mind. But now that I'm back on taking it, because now I can go to the gym in the morning because I got a new job. But now that I'm back on it, I definitely feel like I can work out for longer without having that fatigue at all. What are some of the main pitfalls that you see with people when they're taking supplements or they're trying to supplement stack?
I'd say the expectation that the supplement is going to do all the work for you
Mm,
and the amount of time it takes the supplements to work for sure.
okay.
And also the consistency of taking the supplements as well
Mm,
is a huge part when you're talking about natural and holistic supplements. Because the longer you take something like that, the longer it's able to build in your body and the better it's able to work. They're not chemical compounds, so it's not instant, and nothing in supplements is instant gratification. So my big thing with a lot of people in the shop is that it really is it's dieting, consistency and discipline of training, proper sleep and recovery, and then supplements. And it's like, well, why would supplements be for if that's my job, if that's where I'm standing? It's like if you're not going to do your due diligence on 1, 2, and 3,
mm,
4 isn't going to do anything for you. Now, and
yeah.
that's just me being fully transparent and honest. But if you consistently do 1, 2, and 3, the supplements become your biggest helper. It's a literal real life cheat code. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think one thing that I do struggle with, and I don't even know if it's really struggle with, but is sleep. Because I get about 7 to 6.5 hours of sleep every night. And I know that's not terrible, but it's definitely not optimal for recovery, especially, I'm lifting for like an hour and a half every day. And then I do 15 minutes of sauna. After 15 minutes of sauna, I do 20 minutes on the Stairmaster. So like,
It's a good workout.
yeah, I mean, cause dude, I'm trying everything to get this belly fat off. Like I'm trying everything to get
It'll
this
go.
off.
It'll
Yeah.
go. It takes a while, but it'll go. It'll be a landslide when it goes to. It's awesome.
Yeah. And I was really upset too for the longest time because I was starting to gain weight, right? Like I was starting to gain weight back. And I was like, dude, am I getting like bigger again? But I actually had a body scan from when I first started, and I was actually going to compare the two to show people that like it doesn't really matter where you're at because I was 227, but I was 27% body fat. And now I'm 244 and I'm 14% body fat.
All the way down. It's a lot of muscle mass. Ton of muscle mass.
Yeah, I actually don't. Is it too much? Does it get to that point?
No,
I don't think. I don't think it
no,
gets to that
I
point.
don't think
No,
it's that.
no, no. Even if it does, we're not going to talk about it.
No, we'll touch on that. The more muscle, the better.
So, how has it been transitioning from being like a sub tender, right, to a national sales manager for Astroflave? Like, what's your day to day like, and how is that different?
So it was super overwhelming at the beginning because, like most new things, when you start them, it's the beginning's the toughest part. There's a lot of new things being thrown at you, and there's a big difference between helping out a customer with a $90 sale, and then on the other hand, possibly some days at the same time, doing a $2,000-3,000 wholesale order for Astroflave. So the weeks do get long. It's a lot of work, but I always just take it, even when the days get tough or on my toughest days. I kind of look at where I was say 2 years ago, working in the service industry, 60, 70 hour weeks, Thursday to Sunday, guaranteed at work, no ifs, ands, or buts. So even on my worst days now, when things get tough, I just look at really how grateful I am that my boss Brian put me, not only he was gracious enough to give me the position, because it wasn't it was earned, it wasn't given, but still, even him just having that trust in me to run that part of his business and doing all the work with the money and communicating with a lot of his close friends and business owners across the country. It's like, this is very cool, and it could be tough, it could be daunting some days, but I'm just extremely grateful. And again, looking back just 2 years ago, life was a lot different. So I got to be grateful for where I'm at now and just the overall experience I've gained. I know what I want to do now. I know I want to work in sales, and sales is everywhere currently. So I might not have everything figured out, but at least I know what I want to do moving forward now in life, which is a huge, just for stress and, looking at the crazy world around us, you feel a lot better when at least have a direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like we were all brought up, and I think this was something that maybe the past generation really, really focused on. Like, I thought when I went to college, right, and I got this degree, companies were going to be like, oh, he has a management degree. All right, let's make him a manager. Oh, they have a finance degree. Okay, he's a financial analyst now. He's got a an English degree. Okay, they're a journalist now. That's what they're going to be. And I like that was my mindset going into that. And I realized very, very quickly that if you go to school and you get a business degree, they're going, you're in sales, buddy,
Yep.
right away.
Yep.
I mean, unless you have some very, very specific like data analytics degree or data analytics master's degree, it's for the most part, what I've seen is you are in sales,
Yes.
and we're going to see if you can make it in sales. And if you make it in sales, you know, we'll help you out. You'll maybe you'll get something else, but you are going to be in sales at first. I mean, dude, I got a master's degree. And right after I got my master's degree, my first job was selling personal training packages to people and
Yep.
training them. That was my first job. It wasn't I wasn't a banker. I wasn't a bank teller or a loan officer. I wasn't a finance professional. It wasn't anything like that. And I think there's a huge I mean, I want to know your opinion on this too. I feel like there's a huge misconception on what college is and
Oh, for sure.
what it fosters and the income that it produces by going to college. I
Yes.
mean, I know you enjoyed college, but do you feel like you could have done what you did without college?
Oh, for sure. For sure. The one thing I will say though, and I've done a lot of thinking about that specific question. Like, that's a phenomenal question. What I gained from, and it's our college in particular as well, is what I'll loop into this too. But yeah, 100%. Do I think I could be where I'm at without college right now in sense of the education and degree? Like, remove that for sure. Now, going to college, like I said, coming from a place like Point Pleasant to living in Wilkes-Barre for 5 years, really opened my eyes to what the world was actually like. Like, we call Point Pleasant the bubble. So me getting out there, again, the degree and the education were great. I'm not saying I didn't learn anything. I'm not saying it wasn't valuable, beyond valuable. But what I'm saying was more valuable to me is the way I changed as a person, is the way my view of the world around me changed. I was not only grateful for where I came from, but I also got to see and live in a place where, like, it's very real out there. There's a lot of character, and that's how most of the world is. And it was kind of like, damn, I've never really seen anything like this, but I respect it. And I have a very, very large appreciation for the world around me now. So, in terms of education, it was valuable. I did learn a lot. But I think what was most valuable from that whole experience was the person that I became. If I never went to school, if I never went to that particular area of the United States, I don't think I'd be the same person that's sitting here right now. I really don't.
Definitely not. And I do think that traveling to other places and even living in a different place for a while is very, very beneficial
Yes.
because when you stay in your community, your family, while it is beneficial because your family, my family, wherever they're at, they've built that foundation of relationships for you.
Yes.
There were times where I would be out somewhere and like something would be wrong with my car and someone would be like, I know your dad, I'll help you out. And I'm like, this would like where I'm at now in Florida, unless someone knows my family that lives down here and they know that I'm a part of their family, people may stop out of the kindness of their heart, but there's no community foundation that is going to help you progress unless you build it yourself.
Yes.
Now, like if my clients saw me on the side of the road, because those are relationships that I built with people, I would like to hope anyway that like they would stop
They'd
and they would
stop.
help me,
Yeah, of course.
right? But I had to have conversations with those people. I had to train them. I had to learn who they were. I had to, not had to, I got to. I don't
Yes.
want to say I had to, but
There we go. That was
with
good
my
right there. I
job,
like it.
it was, it's what gave me access to build those relationships with people. So I feel like, coming to college, it was nice for you because you immediately met me, right? So you
Yes.
immediately had someone that already knew people. And if you don't, but if you're someone who doesn't create that connection right away and you don't learn those skills or innately have that in you, like I know you do, you innately have that in you, it can be very hard. And you kind of have to go through that difficult process of learning how to talk to people and learning how to create a relationship with people. And I feel like that is something that college taught me, is how to relate to people and how to create connections. Because back home, I mean, my family is pretty well known in the area that I'm at. I
You're
mean,
pretty connected.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go to the airport and someone's there is like, I know your dad. Like the lady who's like welcoming me off the plane. She's like, I watched you when you were a kid,
Yeah.
when your parents worked out at the gym that I worked at. And I'm like, okay, I know her because she watched me and I remember her. But like, where else are you finding that? But in your community and in the place that you were brought up. So I really like your point about it is about having that moment of, okay, how would I build it if no one I knew was involved?
Yes. Yes. Like taking the world and basically, going somewhere where you don't know anybody, and basically it's like making a whole new life. You know, it's a fresh start. And it's like, again, when you take the mindset of like, oh, I'm just going to continue being myself, and then things happen, like it's just always good to just be yourself and push forward. And that's the way I found out, like, networking and just making friends works. Like, hey, what's up? I'm Gabe. What are you into? I catch the vibe, and then, if we're friends, we're friends. But I'm friendly with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Friendly with a lot of people.
And it's funny because like there are some people that say stuff like that, but I remember you quite literally going like just a random, "Hey, I'm Gabe.
Yeah.
What are you having for lunch?" Just straight up like that, dude. And they're like, "I'm having chicken," and like in my mind, I'm like, this guy is a real life superhero because
Yeah.
I'm never asking a random person what they're having for lunch. I'm not doing that. Like this is
Like, just the
insane.
extrovert in me, bro. Sometimes I'll see something and I just gotta say it. Like,
Yeah.
damn, yo, that looks good. Like, what are you snacking on over there?
Yeah.
And people, like, they're always like holding something. They like look around. They'll be like,
And
"Can talking to me?"
it's not disingenuine either because you would
No.
walk up to me and you'd go, I'm getting that. I'm walking up and I'm going to get that.
Like, where'd you get that at? Yo, I
Yeah.
gotta go get some.
Yeah. And I
Ooh.
feel like a lot of people like it stops them from making relationships. And me especially, dude. Like I'll be at the gym and I'll see someone with like dope sneakers on. I'm like, yo, those sneakers are dope. Like I would wear those. But something in my mind would just stop me from going, hey, yo, where'd you get those? Where'd you get those sneakers from? Because I want to go get them. And
Yeah.
like like I think anyway that maybe I'm bothering that person. But when someone asks me, "Yo, where'd you get your sneakers from?" I'm like, "Oh, they think my sneakers. Oh, I got them at Foot Locker. That's where I got them. You can go to this Foot Locker right here." And I feel good about it. But in my mind, I feel like, am I gonna bother this person who's lifting, or are they gonna actually like enjoy the fact that I like their sneakers and I want to get a pair of their sneakers?
Yeah. And then maybe like they have like struggle with some self confidence or self esteem issues, and you do say that. And
Yeah,
in their mind, they're kind of doing this clash. Like, they just bought those this week, and they're like, "Are these actually fire?" Like, no one said anything yet. Like,
yeah,
damn, I personally thought these were sick. Like, no one said a word. These are fresh. And
yeah,
then you come out of nowhere, some
yeah,
random happy smiling dude. You're like, damn, yo, those shoes are fire. Like, where'd you get those at?
yeah,
Dude, let's fucking go. Someone likes them.
yeah.
Cool.
And that goes back to like you don't even have to try to make someone's day. Like just by being who you are, you can make someone's day. You can make someone happy. By being genuinely curious in who they are. Because a lot
Yeah.
of people just want to be seen. So if you're genuinely curious in someone and you're genuinely curious in who they are and what they're
Yeah.
doing, it makes them feel seen. And that's truly what a lot of people, even people that are like, I don't want to post on social media, or I just want to grind and I just want to work. And it's like, okay, but why are you working? Oh, I'm just working for my family. Why? So you could be seen by your family. That's
Yes.
that's why you're doing it. Or so I can help the community. And even if it's not people that you want to be seen by, and it's a higher power, it's God that you want to be seen by, you still want to be seen by God. Which, by
Yes.
the way, you're seen by him anyway. So anyone that's struggling with that, you're seen by him anyway,
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
But that's people want, in my experience anyway, in a certain fashion, they want to be seen or they want to be understood. And by being understood, maybe they don't want to go to an event because they're not really extroverted. They still want to be understood by people. What's one thing that you use to gauge how you interact with people?
Honestly, it's odd. I just feel like, honestly, for a lot of my life too, and I try pinpointing it and explaining it the best way I have. I have a really good intuition about people, and like you said, the word before that you used was genuine. When we were just talking about when you're interacting with people, I handle every interaction with genuine intentions. And again, some people might call me a little too giving or too nice at some points, but I believe everyone deserves an equal chance to be viewed as a human. You know what I mean? Because we all are humans. It doesn't matter race, religion, skin color. I've never seen any of those things. Everyone's just another person on this planet doing their thing and trying to do what's best for them. So the way I handle just any interaction, really, especially with new people, is I just bring myself fully to the table. I'm genuine and I just feel out the vibe between me and them. You know what I mean? Or what kind of vibe they're giving off. Again, my intuition's pretty strong. Not many people set it off, but even if I have like a little bit of a weird feeling, I'm still going to be genuine. But but it's like, yeah, I just feel people out, and I give everybody, no matter who they are, the same exact chance. Everybody, I treat everyone the same.
Yeah. How I know you said it's innate, but like how do you determine where you disperse your energy? Because you say you treat everyone the same, right? Does that mean that you give like your friends the same energy you give your family and you give strangers the same energy you give your friends? Or is there kind of like a dispersion that you go?
There's definitely a dispersion process for sure.
Okay.
I'm always going to bring positive vibes, like we always say, to the table. I'm always going to be genuine. But when it came down to it, and this was I was going to say before, you said everyone does something to be seen. And that's a really, really good point. Everyone does do something to be seen. And I really do think pulling it all the way back to what we talked about before at that first meet was kind of like I finally did something for myself,
Yeah.
in a not selfish way. And I think, if anything, if you're trying to be seen, I think the key route to happiness, or at least for me finding my most recent happiness, was I'm trying to be seen by myself for once. I'm trying to know what makes me happy, and honestly, in the least selfish way possible, at a certain point, especially in your mid 20s, it's got to become about you.
Yeah.
So what's happened recently is like I said, I always bring genuine intentions, a happy guy. I'm going to try to brighten your day to the table. And that's just me as a person. But obviously, when it comes to my family first. I love my family to death. I got a beautiful niece and nephew now that, oh man, just like thinking about the two of them, like they make me so happy. Like the second I'm in a room with either of them, like the feeling I get is insane. So my family's first. And then I do have a phenomenal, and I'm very grateful and lucky to say this, I do have a very good group of core friends. And the way I disperse my energy throughout them is, we do we don't count favor system with all my closest friends. If you're down, I'll pick you up. If I'm down, someone else is going to pick me up. So those people get my immediate energy. And a lot of my friends do reach out and ask for opinions and help and just to vent, and I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
appreciate that I'm a spot for them to feel comfortable enough, even if I'm not giving active feedback and I'm just listening to them. The fact that most of them can come to me in a day and age where it's kind of frowned upon to get emotional with your friends,
Yeah.
especially at this time of life, because it's extremely difficult and confusing. And I think that's across the board for all, say, 24 to 27-year olds right now, especially in 2025. But the way I disperse it is, at this point, in my immediate circle, I've pinpointed who deserves the energy and who I like to be around and who, we could pick each other up and grow together. So those are the people that
Absolutely.
got my immediate energy. But just outwardly to the world, I'd say, again, still genuine and positive, but obviously it's a bit, my immediate energy is dispersed throughout my close peoples.
Yeah. Based on the level that I know you and the level that I've seen you've invested in me and I've invested in you, you'll get a different layer of my ability
For
to
sure.
be positive and to be genuine. And
Yes.
I really like what you said about being there for your friends, even when they, makes you feel good, makes you feel good that your friends can come to you and that you create that space and that energy to allow them to come to you and to bring their hardships to you.
Yes.
Because do you know who Simon Sinek is?
I have heard of Simon Sinek before. Yes.
He has this saying where like he reached out to his one friend. He was like, "Hey, like I really appreciate the fact that you're a friend that I can come to whenever shit's going sideways." And he's like, "I would be mad if you didn't. Like, I would be mad if you would deny me the honor of being there for you whenever something goes wrong." And
Because if you have the right people around you, you don't need to suffer in silence.
yeah,
And you should never suffer in silence. And I believe that everyone deserves to have someone like that in their life. And I know people don't, but even if it is maybe a thoughtful stranger, because people do that too.
yeah,
Like a thoughtful act can turn into them dumping some stuff onto you, and it's okay.
yeah,
Like get it out. It's okay.
yeah.
No one deserves to hold that in, especially when things are going really bad. Like get it out.
See, that's something I struggle with. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie to you. Like I'll go to help someone and then they'll go to like tell me their entire life story. And it's very hard for me because I'm a very linear and logical thinker. In my mind, I'm like, I'm already helping you. Why do I now have to also listen to your problems? Like again, I think it's who I am too, because maybe I don't like to give my problems to other people,
Yeah.
like personally. I like to handle them with myself and with God, and I probably should lean on other people a little bit more than I do. So when other people do it, I find it I find it unique, I guess. Not unique because I know people do it. I'm trying to find the right word to say it, but I'm like, if someone came to my house and cleaned my house for me, I also wouldn't tell them all of my problems while they were cleaning my house,
Yeah. You
right?
just let them do their job. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's me. And part of my issue with navigating life and navigating other people is learning that not everyone is like me, and if they're not always like me, that's still okay.
Yeah. And that was part of kind of like my journey in finding my independence and being happy alone. It was kind of like, I spent so much time helping others and I was over giving, to be honest. And I kind of lost myself there for a while. It was like, all right, reel it back in. So I do see what you're saying. Some days it's a lot,
Yeah.
when you start out with a light conversation and it turns into something bigger. But I just try to think when I'm in those situations, like, all right, this person really needs that. And honestly, I think it's been thrown at me my whole life. People have been dumping their problems on me because maybe I was never letting my problems out. And that was another big part about 2 years ago. I finally did start opening up a bit more. It was extremely, extremely difficult.
Yeah.
And again, I'm still working on it recently, just conversations with family members and friends. But when you start and it's not all the time, it's maybe every couple, 2, 3 weeks, maybe something's on your mind, something didn't go well at work, just give my older brother a call, give one of my best friends a call. And I think honestly, that's just making us human again. Like there's so much going on with men's mental health and just mental health overall in the world right now. And I think that we are kind of tailored and we learn to hold it in because we're men, and it's like, I feel like at this point in time with how rough it's gotten, it's like definitely break the stigma. If you got problems, like don't push them down and hold them in, get them out. You have to, because that's the road to finding your peace again. That's the road to living in the moment. And if you're not living in the moment, and this has been one of my big analogies lately, it's like driving on the Jersey Parkway. We got the craziest drivers in the country here. Everyone's going 20 to 25 over. If your hand's on the wheel here and you're constantly looking behind you, you're going to miss the exit or you're getting in a car crash. So that's
Yeah.
the thing. Like a lot of people seem to be stuck on things that have happened. There's one fact about things that have happened. You cannot change them.
Yeah.
So that's the way I live my life. Something that happened, say, 20 minutes ago is already in the past. It's gone. So I feel like you just got to move forward. You got to make those turns. You got to make those cuts. You got to hit your exit, get to the destination that's right in front of you. Don't let the past hold you down. And I think that's where a lot of it comes from, is a lot of people get stuck in how they used to be or things that happened behind them. And that's where they happen to stay, which is unfortunate. So it kind of is like, for me, is like looking forward, leave the past in the past, live in the moment, and just go get what's right in front of you. Because the more you focus on what's in front of you, the closer you're going to get to it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Gabe, you have such an incredible positivity and like a motivative spirit. Is there anything that you do like within the day or a way that any like, I don't want to say rituals, but any kind of like routines that you follow to help you maintain this level of positivity?
So when I get up in the morning, and honestly, almost all day long, dude, and you know this about me, music, dude.
Yeah.
Music is an actual driver of my life. And I feel like even in certain moments or big moments in my life, when I get in my car and turn on the radio, there's a perfect song to match that moment.
Yeah.
It's like there's just something about waking up every day, connecting to my little Amazon Echo box that I'm looking at right now, making my bed, and like you said, cleaning up my area. So when
Yeah.
Gabe, at the end of his long day, going in the 9 to 5 at the office, hitting the gym after that for 2 hours, when I come home, I'm coming home my space. It's already set up for me. And then I get the music rolling and I unwind, you know? But I think the number one driver of my life is really just my music and the way I could just go throughout the day, living in the moment and just handling what I have to handle for myself and others around me, you know? But
Yeah.
yeah, music is my cheat code. I think that's how I really do stay positive, and it helps me connect with everything around me. I really do live life through music, and it's awesome.
Yeah, and it helps you even mood regulate. Like recently, I've been listening to like a lot of rap music. Like whenever I'm at the gym, last night I was listening to the Beatles like all night while I
Yeah.
was doing some work. My whole mood like evened out
Yes.
while I was doing some work, just because I mean they're known for like having kind of like a calmer, relaxing tone to their music, and I think it's a huge tool if you use it properly. I also think though that some people may not realize the impact and effect that music does have on their mood. And I think when you understand that entirely, you can use it to your advantage 100%. And you've definitely done that.
Yeah, it works. It works for sure.
Yeah. If there's something that you could tell Gabe, let's do Gabe before college or Gabe even before high school. If you remember college better, do college. If there's something that you could tell yourself when you were younger, what would it be?
I would grab the younger me by the shoulders. I would look at him. I'd tell him that he mattered, to be confident over everything else, and do not care what other people think about you. I would drill that into his mind. And I think about that question a lot too. That's a phenomenal question. I would tell him not to worry about what others think. I really would. Because for a long time I was wrapped up in that. It was always like, what does everyone think about Gabe? Why doesn't everyone like Gabe? It was always like, what am I doing wrong? And 99% of the time, it wasn't anything I was doing wrong. You know what I mean? So I think it is just like, dude, be yourself, be confident, and don't worry about what others think about you, for sure.
Yeah. Most of the time they don't care. I mean,
No,
to be really blunt, like you're in a conversation with someone and you're talking to them and you think you said something that made them go left because of the way their face looks. And they thought about, man, do I have mustard on my shirt right now?
yeah, straight up.
And but you think you did something to make them
Yeah,
look off in the distance. They're like, wait, did I put deodorant on this morning? And you think it's like something that has to do with
bro,
you.
what did I do? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. I think that's a very important lesson for everyone to know and for everyone to look at. I have
It's also like that's a big perspective point too. It could be like, you just said it perfectly. No one actually fucking cares. And that's like, man, like life stinks. No one cares. Or it's like, wow, I can go create and do whatever I want because no one cares what I do.
yeah,
Like this is like this world is my easel now. You know, I
yeah,
can go and do, this is my canvas. Like I can go do what I want to do and no one cares. You
yeah.
know? And it's cool. It's not a bad thing. It's not like no one cares about you, bro. Like you're not being a dick, but it's true. And it's honestly, once you realize that, it's a good thing. You got to look at that in a very positive way.
It only matters whenever you're in a mind and not even matters, like matters in quotations. It only matters whenever you're doing something is to get an external reaction from someone or
Yes.
to get an external validation for someone.
God,
But
me too.
when you validate yourself and you
Yes.
validate what you're doing,
Yes.
that is when it becomes a positive thing and you turn it into this world is my canvas rather than I'm all alone and no one cares.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. And that's when you get to where you need to be. That is that leap of faith that so many people miss. It's like your dreams, like it's a 3 foot jump and you just are right there, but you don't do it because of what others around you think. And that's what I believe to be true regret in life. It's like, what if I, 40 years down the road, never decided to powerlift, never decided to get that pro card, never decided to try to become the pro athlete I've always wanted to be, and I never even went to the gym and I just got out of shape and I looked back forever and I was like, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I do that? It was because at that time in my life, I was too concerned with what everyone else around me thought, and I didn't do anything for myself. I didn't make that leap of faith, and now it's going to haunt me forever. And I think at this, like, it might be early to learn that lesson in my life, I guess, but I feel like that's a really important one for people to hear and understand. It's like, you're never too late. And if you have a dream for you, go do it. It doesn't matter what anyone else says, because that's what I believe. Like, the other side of that is happiness. That's passion. And now you're going to turn passion into your dreams. And then there you go. No regret.
Yeah, because you never want the older version of yourself to look back on it. And if you're still alive and you still have the capability to achieve any of those dreams, why not go for it? Because you can work it in your schedule. That is my number one pet peeve when someone goes, I can't work it into my schedule.
Yes.
I immediately go, okay, so your Netflix subscription is canceled, correct? Your Hulu subscription, that's canceled, right? Okay. You deleted all the social media apps off your phone, right?
Because you definitely don't have time for that.
We're going to check all those boxes because clearly you don't have time to pursue what makes you happy and you don't have time to pursue what makes you healthy and stabilizes your mind and your emotions, right? So if you don't have that time, then you definitely don't have time for just distractions and entertainment, right? And that's a big thing for me. It's very blunt though, and not a lot of people are going to accept it unless they're already ready to commit.
Yeah. We'll tell it how it is, like, you can't beat around the bush when someone's trying to change your life.
Yeah,
It might be harsh, but like on the other end of that harsh advice is their dreams. So it's like,
absolutely.
get that or stay stagnant and don't.
Absolutely.
That's a great point.
Yeah. What would be kind of like going off the last question that I had, right? The reversal though. What would Gabe at 65 be proud of what you've already accomplished and what you're going to accomplish in the future?
I would say by that point, if I get to all my dreams, damn, that'd be a heck of a life. I'm not going to lie. That'd be
Yeah.
pretty damn cool. But what I think he would say first would be a thank you for never changing. So much has happened. Everyone's got it tough. A lot of bad shit happens in a lot of people's lives. It's just so much has happened. And I've ran into so many people that saw the light in me and tried to dim that.
Mhm.
And a lot of that's rooted in things like jealousy, and I never want people to feel that way, but there's been a ton of people that tried to take the positive energy that I have. They've tried to change me as a person. They've tried to look at me and be like, no, this isn't right, like that's not who you should be. Well, who are you to say who I should be? I am who I am. You know what I mean? And I'm going to continue doing that regardless of you believe in it or not. You know what I mean? So I think the first thing he'd say, and the most important part, he'd be like, thank you for never changing. And thank you for always just giving your all, pushing forward, believing in yourself, and chasing whatever you could at all costs. Because even when you fail, the way I view failure is, one, it has to happen. There's no way around failures in life. You can't just have the perfect run. There's no way. It's impossible. And two, you got to take failure and you got to learn from it and you got to move forward. You got to build yourself up through the failure. You got to learn from that failure. Hey, I did this, I did XYZ, and I'm not going to do that again. I learned from my mistakes. But yeah, he'd say, thank you for not letting people take your energy or dim your light, because you did everything you wanted to do. And even the things that you couldn't quite grasp or make it to, at least you gave it your best. At least you tried your hardest. Because there can't be regret there. If I gave it everything I had and I still came up short, at least I still gave it everything I had. You know, I'm never going to back away from a challenge, and I'm never going to back away from a failure either. You can't. You got to learn from them and build.
Yeah. The faster you fail, the faster you succeed.
Yes. Yes.
That's awesome, man. So we've heard from your younger self and from your older self, but I want to hear from you right now. If you have one piece of advice to give to the people that are listening that maybe are in an emotional rut where they can't quite access that positivity and that spark of life, what would it be?
I'd say have hope and have faith. Those are two really, really big things. And as dark as the world around you may seem, just pick out the pieces of light that you got. You know, if you take a piece from over there and you take a piece from over there and you take a piece from up here and you move them all together, now you got a light. You know, it's like I'm envisioning right now a dark cave. We just pulled those little bits of life from each part of your life and you put them together. And now you have a flashlight. You know, you were just in a dark room. You were just in a dark cave, lost. You had no idea where you were. But if you pull whatever you have, whatever positive things, whatever things make you feel human, and you put them together, even at your lowest point, it'll create a light forward. And just follow the light. You know, like things are tough. Just keep the hope, keep the faith, and push forward no matter what. It's okay to feel bad for yourself. It's okay to kind of take the time to understand your hardships and what's going on. But at a certain point, you got to take what you can in terms of positivity and you have to move forward, because staying stagnant, staying complacent, and sitting in that rut and kind of wallowing there isn't going to change anything for you. It's definitely not going to change the past because we can't change that. So you got to get up at a certain point. Just take whatever light you got and move forward, because you can. You're capable of. And I'm sure even if it doesn't feel like it, there's people around you that want to see you out of that rut. And there's people around you that you do make a positive impact in their life. And there's people around you that do, even if you can't take anything from yourself, take plenty of things from you, even if it's watching from afar. So I think it's just always remembering that you matter, that everything you do, even if it's minor and you're not happy with it right now, matters, and that you're okay. As long as you're alive, as long as you're healthy, you can always make changes to see a positive and better life in the future.
Absolutely, man. Well, Gabe, some great points, definitely some gems in this episode. I
Oh, for sure.
really
Really
appreciate having you on, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to come on the podcast. What's your Instagram so people can follow you?
Instagram's just at Gabe Fattizzi.
Okay. And then you
That's
also have
easy.
Fattizzi Strength, right? That's
Yeah,
another one?
Fattizzi_strength as well. Yeah, that's the strength page.
Okay. And then we'll also drop Jersey Shore supplements in the description and Astroflave in the description as well. Like I said, it's a great podcast. I really, really
It was
appreciate you
phenomenal.
coming
Yeah.
on, man.
I appreciate you for having me and also using a platform to communicate positivity and good vibes.
Dude,
And just
absolutely.
kind of talk about life. I think a lot of people need to hear things like this.
Yeah.
And honestly, looking around, you see a lot of motivational videos. You see a lot of Goggins out there. I don't think you see a lot of regular humans talking about regular human shit, though.
Absolutely.
And I think you and I we've always been honest with each other. We've always had these very deep talks. But I think it's just nice having two just normal dudes in their 20s communicating and behaving and making great points like true adults. And I think it's really cool from where we came from, dude.
For sure. Absolutely.
Because we
Yeah.
were reckless kids. We really were.
Yeah.
And just hearing us now is just so night and day. It's awesome.
Dude, absolutely. I mean, definitely a big 180 for both of us, I will say. For all of you out there listening, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Music, we're on YouTube, we're also on Instagram, all at the Parker Pod. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. And drop a comment below if you've made it this far, telling us what keeps you going in life. And as always, stay blessed.
Sure.